Hey, good morning, everybody. Sorry about that. What's awesome is when you hit the stream button and the computer reboots. Yeah. Anyway, got it back up, got it going. Hopefully, I got all the screens up I was going to talk about. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Morning, Patrick, Sledge, George, Beth, Al, Rongamer, Donald, Craig, Gina, David. Gina, I haven't seen your name on there. Welcome, Francois, David, Penny, Dan, Andrew USA, not sure if I've seen you before either. Welcome. Keith, welcome. Rizio, Ray, Lucero, Philip. Glad to have everybody. If you want to chat with me like all these fine folks, all you got to do, hit the subscribe button right down over here, right there in the corner. Hit that button. A few seconds later, you'll be able to chat on the live stream. That's the only requirement. Morning, Jaquise and Dave, Aaron, Catherine. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you. And welcome. So, market turning a little sour overnight, right? It doesn't look so good for the open. And we're going to talk about it. Retail sales out this morning. What did they say? What did the retail sales indicate? Let's pop over and share my screen and start looking at it here. We have my favorite economic calendar, forexfactory.com here. You just click the calendar button and you get this wonderful list of potentially market moving stuff. We had China putting out their industrial production, kind of turning the market a little sour last night. And then we have had Canada and Canada announcing some CPI numbers this morning. And we had core retail sales. We were expecting a 0.4, got a 1.0. Positive for retail sales, not positive for cutting rates from the market. Empire State Manufacturing, though, negative 19. So manufacturing continued to suffer in the United States. Let's look at that. We were expecting 0.9, negative 0.9, and we got negative 19. So big surprise to the downside. This could be arcing. I mean, it tends to be a volatile number. We could be arcing the bottom here, coming back up. It's potential. We arced the top, arced the bottom. We could actually be coming out of a manufacturing slump based on that pattern. And let's look at the retail sales on the same scale here. We were expecting a 0.4 and we got a 1.0. That's positive for more retail sales. And that's why it's a green number, but it's not necessarily positive for if you're looking for the market to cut the rates, the FOMC, Federal Reserve. Anyway, and we have retail sales. Yeah, that was core retail sales. Retail sales coming in 0.7. It's fair and fair. I mean, we're expecting a 0.4 there also and got a 0.7. And as you can see, this tends to just hum along, not really big surprises up or down. And that's classic what we have. Just came in a little hot. A little hotter than we expected, but what did that do to the market? Nothing great at this point. Hardly any reaction at all at 8:30 when that came out. Now, on Wednesday, of note, we are getting the FOMC minutes released at 2 p.m. That can be a volatile inducing event. We're also getting building permits and housing starts before the market opens. Be careful. I mean, that can move the market. Unemployment claims, while it is colored red, it hasn't lately been really moving the market all that much. And that's going to wrap up the week economic news-wise. Good morning, everybody. Kimberly's here now. My lovely wife, Erin, Dave. Glad to have everybody. All right, I'm missing my other browser that has my other information. Hold on one second here. Like I said, click the go live button and the whole dang thing reboots. That was beautiful. I was like, what the devil? Anyway, first time for that one. First time for everything, what was I gonna pull up? Oh yeah. There we go. Now that we have Discord, let me jump to this right here. Open browser, pull it over, and boom, right here. So this week, started out yesterday, August 14th, we had a crypto miner, some solar, a few other things. Monday, after the close, we got Suncor, Urban Grow, Rumble. Not really big market grabbing names. This morning, though, we had Home Depot, and market not necessarily being kind. Later on the week, we have Target, ZIM, TJ Maxx, Brinker International. That's food, restaurants. Cisco. There's Cisco and Cisco. This is the technology Cisco, not the food Cisco. Paycor, Walmart, Dole. I mean, you can read it. All the rest of these coming out the rest of the week. And interestingly, John Deere announcing on Friday. That's not a typical thing. Estee Lauder too. That's usually companies avoid announcing on a Friday. Anyway, so that's what we have coming up the rest of the week. That's probably going to be the market moving stuff. So let's hit the disclaimer real quick before we talk about trades. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Remember, it does. I mean, this game is risky. Past performance, even though I get things right a lot, I may never get it again. So past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here intended to be informational, educational, and fun. I hope you have fun watching it. That's the whole point. If there's something I could do to make it more fun, let me know in the chat during the live stream. And if you're watching this later, leave a comment below. Remember, it is not a recommendation to buy or sell anything, financial instrument or otherwise. And if you desire that personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor that has a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your current financial situation. All right, S&P 500. Well, got a little reprieve yesterday, but it looks like today we may go down in a blaze of glory and get that lower low than Friday. There's like a 90% chance that we see a lower low today than we saw Friday, just based on the history. Market, if you never heard this before, the market does not typically make the lowest low for a week or multi-weeks. It just doesn't make the lowest low on a Friday. It's like a 90% of the time, that low that is made on Friday, if it's the lowest low for the week or for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, a series of longer than a day, if it's the lowest low, it typically will not stand. Usually 90% of the time, the market will make a lower low on the following Monday, Tuesday, possibly Wednesday. It's just like 90% of the time. That's the way it works. I guess we don't like to end the week on a sour note without getting a little continuation the next week. So be careful. If you're going long, we took back the entire move up yesterday, right back down to the bottom. This was kind of overlapping, like an overlapping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of gnarly both directions there. And if that's a leading diagonal, that's a Elliott wave term. If this was a leading diagonal with the overlapping stuff and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this took it all back. That's classic so far. We could get continuation higher, but this is kind of a corrective start higher if we're going higher. I was encouraged that we closed up here, but then we took it right back overnight. If you've never looked at the futures, this is ES. This is the futures for the S&P 500. How do you trade it? SPX, SPY, any of the derivatives that you might know, all of those are related to this right here. This is how the news and mainstream media knows what the market's doing before it opens. Looking at the futures. Right now, those futures are down 20 points for the ES. In Q, not nearly as deep a retrace. If we look at this, ES went right back down to retest those lows right there that we had yesterday about 9:30, right when the market opened. We're right back there today. In Q, significantly higher. Now, the rally yesterday in Q was a lot on the back of NVIDIA, and that makes the list again this morning. Russell is looking quite a bit more sour, making a lower low this morning already. Right there. Has the opportunity to rally back up. In QQQ, if you're unfamiliar with the futures, That's QQQ, NASDAQ, NDX right there. All those SQQQ, TQQQ, all the QQQ derivatives. Russell right here is the small caps. That's IWM. That's the main ETF for Russell. And these are the three indexes I watch. I don't like the Dow because the adjustment factors just skew it up and make it unreliable for anything. So we may see this rally right back up, and yeah, that'd be classic. Now on the daily chart though, Russell has a date kind of with this level down here. It has dropped pretty significantly and looks like we're going to come in. Well, we're already in this resistance, support resistance box. And we may go test this orange line that I call the market roadmap line. The roadmap line. We may go test that roadmap line on this daily chart. That would be classic. If we hold support there, turn back higher, we'll probably break out and go on up on our way to 21 to 2200. The path on ES right now, less clear, and it has a lot further to go to get down to that zone on a daily. Like I've talked about the last few days, the S&P 500 chart, we may be on a path for a deeper retrace. So watch out. There goes the market. There goes the market turning down. Watch for that lower low that we made on Friday. Alrighty. Oil. Looks like it wants to do the retrace I was talking about. I saw an article. They had done weeks of analysis. Weeks, I'm telling you. And pulled numbers from all over the world. They kind of came to this conclusion that we may see a breakout to this level right here, right around 93. I was like, geez, I've been saying that for a few weeks just based on the chart pattern. I didn't even have to do weeks of analysis. I did like 30 seconds of analysis, drew this. We'd probably retrace here and then hold support, turn up, break out here, and go right up to the 93 area. It's in the price pattern. It's not in the actual supply and demand numbers. That's just the way that these charts work. All right, GC, right down here, back to the roadmap line. If we can turn up now, the first indication is going to be a move back up to 1950. And I would really like to see it back above 1980. And then we have this resistance zone, this prior high at 2010. We break above that, we're probably on the path finally to going up to this $2150 to $2200 area on gold. If for whatever reason we break down below this low, we're going on an extension lower, and that can be a substantially lower move. So the level right there, that can take us down to about 1800. So if we get below this level right there, we're probably coming on down here, 1800-ish, possibly 1775. That's gold, GLD, right there. Bitcoin, still sideways. Still hadn't moved. That's several weeks in a row now. Just consolidating right there at the bottom of this corrective range, just underneath where the lows were from back here in July. Just keeps consolidating. Ethereum also consolidating, looking a bit more bearish. It didn't make a higher high like Bitcoin did. Bitcoin made a higher high here. Ethereum did not. Ethereum looks more bearish. Dollar, is it going to reject the roadmap line? We're going to see. If we reject the roadmap line, we're probably doing an extension right down here to 97. Yeah. Now, stuff moving today, NVIDIA popping up. That's still bearish. Be careful. This can just be a bearish, stupid magnet thing. Do not like that. This thing holding below that level, below that line, this downtrend of highs. We hold below that. We can do another extension right down. Do not count on this breaking back out to new highs. It needs a substantial retrace. That was a lot of energy to get to this level without doing any retraces, hardly at all, since back here in December. Be careful. We can shave 30% off that baby really quickly. NVO, that one just keeps on keeping on. With the weight loss drugs, it's just crazy stuff. Sledge, this is another one like Lilly right here. Probably going to blast off. I mean, I was reading 10% of people pay completely out of pocket just to be on the weight loss stuff, the Wegovy and the Majorman and whatever. Um, so it's crazy. 10% of people pay $1,000 a month just to try that stuff. I mean, I guess, you know, it's better than croaking because of diabetes and heart disease, but that's I don't have an extra $1,000 a month. Of course, I don't need it, but um, like I said, I guess it's better than the alternative. But 45% of people that take this stuff are paying out of pocket, like not completely, but somewhat out of pocket. Their insurance only covers like right around 50% of people taking this stuff. So, and it was interesting, and it's just going to get bigger, and it's also going to put a hurting on fast food and junk food, food manufacturers, because people who are taking this stuff, I thought it was interesting. I did a lot of research on this. I was reading Bloomberg about the weight loss stuff, and the average person that starts taking this, the average person, male and female together, average person, however many thousand people they averaged, the average person was eating over 3,200 calories a day before they started on these weight loss drugs, or diabetes control, A1, whatever you want to call them. They suppress appetite and control your A1C, and it's really just an appetite suppressant is one of the main benefits that you get. And the average person was eating on the order of 1,250 less calories a day after taking this for a couple of weeks. That's still over 2,000 calories a day, but that just blows my mind a little bit that people cutting that much out of their diet. But that's a third less food that they're eating calorie wise, and so that's a third less food that companies are going to sell. And if this goes really widespread, then that's that's where you see we're going to see a lot of demand slicing out of the fast food and carb heavy food, prepackaged foods, things like that. Snacks and stuff are one of the main things that people cut out. Snacks and fast foods, like it was something like 60% reduction in going out to eat, period. Like, and it was more heavily on the fast food than it was like casual dining. So we may see this pop in these stocks right here may roll over into a decline in restaurants and fast foods and food producers. So just talking bigger picture, that's something we should keep an eye on. So anyway, DCTH, that one popping down right off the roadmap line. How low can she go? This was on the gainers list, but that looks pretty bad. Looks like it's going to go down, down, down into the toilet. I'll have to delete that off and put it back on a log scale because that's getting really low priced. Put that back. And yeah, how low can she go? Below $1. DHI looks like it might be on a retrace back to the roadmap line. Although that is kind of an echo, and we are holding the lows right here. And right there. Hold those lows. Probably going for the next extension. The next extension would be an echo of one of these other moves. Something like, quit moving the chart. Something like that. 142-ish. Yeah, can easily do that. And then, it probably has a channel that's running up right here. It's probably running up that channel. It went down to a lower channel. And, yeah, 142, reasonable. TMV, potentially breaking out. Backtested the breakout of the highs, potentially going on an extension. That next extension would be somewhere around 148, possibly 152. NVDL, NVIDIA daily long. If you can't afford NVIDIA long, Here you go. And this one could go down substantially. It says leveraged. Leveraged stuff does not always follow my patterns. Be careful on that. All right. I got a weird pop-up over here. Hold on 1 second. All right. Moving on. SDRL. And just chopping inside the range that we had from back here in July. Into late July, early August. I don't know. It may break out. That looks like the risk is to the downside more than it does that we're going to get continuation higher. CAH. Cardinal Health. Finding significant resistance right here and may retrace. Haven't looked at this chart in a little while, obviously. And you see what we did right back here. May do that right back here till we can meet the roadmap line once again out here in the future. SRTY, there's a ultra short Russell, and that looks bearish right now. This is a leveraged instrument, and it is a probably decaying asset, would be my guess. Yep, decaying asset. Those reverse splits indicate it decays. This one will approach 0 over time, but it does get sparky. Be careful, that's a downtrend though. GRND, oh, that looks pretty horrible. I guess that's the app. Grinder, whatever. That looks like it's going out of business. Going to 0. Yeah. All right. Blasting down on AAMC. Took a 62% haircut overnight, right down to the prior lows. If it can hold this area and turn up, that's positive. It has a 2-for-1 split coming up. Oh man, that's gonna be not good. That's a little amusing. They probably planned this when their price was up here, and now they're at 12, and they're going to do a 2-for-1 split. So they're going to put the price at 6. Oh man, that's I don't even know what to say on that one. That's just amusing. Usually splits are something you do when you're bullish, but that's pretty wicked right there. Ouch. Yeah, that's. Oh man, that's a pattern for making a lower low than what we had right back here. And that was a big corrective move. We're probably going to go lower. Probably going to go lower than these lows right back here. Would not surprise me. ASML down below the roadmap line. That was kind of what I expected to happen. Get back to the roadmap line. If it can hold support here and turn up higher, then we have the opportunity to make extensions. But right now, don't try to catch a falling knife. This thing can do a deeper retrace back down to these levels back here. Support right down in there. SE, oh, yeah, holding under the roadmap line is bearish. Probably going on the extension down to 28. DFS, I'm telling you, financials are not in the clear yet. There you go. Charging record rates on credit cards and not looking too great for Discover Bank, Discover Financial Services right here. Back to the lows. If we can get below that, we're going to do an extension lower. Yeah. How low? Let's see what I think. Let's see what the chart says. Probably down to 80. That would be my guess, right down here. If we get below that line, probably going to extend down to 80. All right. Yeah, I got the request show tonight at 5. So coming up this evening after the market closes, 5 p.m. Eastern, I will do a request show. So bring your requests this evening. I will hit them all. Right now, I'm just looking for stuff moving for the day that we can try to track and and maybe get a trade on FRHC right back to the roadmap line. Maybe it may go a little deeper on this retrace right here. May go a little deeper right down there. All right. Yeah, so Alexander, I see your comment about buying puts on fast food. This is going to be a longer term trend. I don't know that puts are going to be the way to play because time. That's, puts have a time. You have to buy a put in a time zone. I mean, you could play out to, if you could find some June 2025 that you think might work, but it's gonna be tough. Something like an ETF that shorts fast food restaurants, that might be a way to play. Or that's the thing about short trades. A lot of them have a carry cost to them, and that's why I tend to look for longs, because you can buy shares in something and hold it for a long time without having a carry cost. A lot of these short ETFs, like I was just talking about the one that was decaying there a minute ago, and the decaying is the carry cost. So be careful trying to do that stuff. SMCI getting, it was making the mover down list pre-market and just consolidating here, probably going to get another leg down. I know lots of people calling for 300 again, but I'm thinking 200 before. I mean, we may pop up, find resistance at 300, but that was fully cooked to the upside. The retrace right down here. Now we could do a 618 retrace. We've done one big move down so far. We could retrace right back up here, 316, make everybody happy, and then do another drop right down here. So be careful. DPST, regional banks. The financial situation not cleared up yet. This thing can go right back down again. ON, right back to the roadmap line. Probably going to touch, and we missed last time. Didn't get the full extension either. So when these things don't fully touch, they did the 1272 extension. So this time, if that's the low, 38 would be the upside target. Not a bad shake. I mean, that's like, what, 25%? Almost? Maybe a little more. I would be careful. It may reach down and touch the roadmap line there. VLO, getting a retrace, probably came up just shy of the resistance. That's a lower high. Again, that one can retrace right back down to the roadmap line. Doesn't matter what oil's doing. MPC right out to, oh, that was a beautiful move. The classic pattern here would be back to the 100, out to the 1618. Doesn't have to do that. It can just consolidate right here and then pop. Could just consolidate for a few days and then pop. Or we can, the other pattern, if it doesn't hold that prior high, it actually makes a little zone here with the 2 highs right there. If it doesn't hold into that zone, if it gets below that, highly likely that we retrace that whole move back to the roadmap line, wherever that roadmap line is at the time when we get there. Right like that. All right. That's the end of the list. So that was what was moving pre-market. And there you go. If you got requests, you got a couple options here. Number one, I like to be compensated for my time. I'm willing to spend a lot of time with members who support me. There's a link in the description to join the Market Roadmap, and that gets you in my Discord server, and I'll talk to you all day, give you charts, updates, whatever you ask me for. Number two, you can come back at 5 p.m. Eastern time this evening after the market's closed and make requests, and I will hit them for at least 30 minutes. Lately, it's been an hour, so you want to make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell with the doodads, and that will get you on the list. Now, bias for the day. A little bit sour here. I'm thinking we may see a lower low than what we saw on Friday. That may be what we do. We're not too far off. So set your alert right over here. Right like that. Set your alert. We hit that. we can reverse. We've been kind of riding this downtrend. If you draw the line, square, breaking down. We've been riding this line right here. We may come down somewhere in this 44.30, possibly down to 44.24 is what I've been talking about for a few days now. We get down to there and potentially bounce again. And we've been holding these highs, this roadmap line, holding these highs. So that's kind of the down channel right now. Expect us to kind of play in there. Now, at some point, we probably will get a retrace back up into this 45.50 area, potentially. So be careful. Where does that 44.24 area come from? Right here. 44.24, 44.25. That was the place where we found resistance on the way up. This is a simplified daily close chart. So we may see that push down there, rally up here, and another move down. Be prepared for the potential. All right. Have a great day, everybody. I will be back live at 5 p.m. Make sure you're subscribed right over there. Make sure you hit the bell with the notifications so you get a notification. And if you're in Discord, I'll post it in there. Bye for now, everybody. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. The account you save